love you all. It's an honor.
What's going on, everybody?
Able to serve you 3-minute ad breaks at the top of the hour.
I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, fantastic afternoon, fantastic pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the HASAN broadcast coming to you live from kind of gloomy, not so sunny, very cloudy California, Los Angeles, folks. We're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one because today's a beautiful day. Today's a wonderful day. Today is a special day. It's Friday, May 16th, 2025. First and foremost, the boys back on conventionals, okay? Last night I ended the broadcast. What did I do? I watched Love, Death, and Robots. I finished Love, Death, and Robots. I watched it all. I burned through it. It was pretty goddamn good, as a matter of fact. There were some misses and some hits in there. I especially loved the devil one, like the church bombing. Nazi Germany one. That was really good. There was a couple ones that were, there were a couple episodes that were really bangers. The new season just came out. Alien versus Tiny World, I didn't like it that much. Bro, watch Andor. Stop watching mid. I'm watching Andor. I'm gonna watch the studio. I'm gonna keep watching studio. I'm gonna keep watching Andor. I have a lot on the docket. I'm watching Freyrin. Chat, if you don't want spoilers, mute for a few minutes. Wait, what? There's no spoilers. These stories are literally 5 minutes long. Half of them don't even fucking end. Half of them just end weirdly without any sort of resolution. Didn't watch the Mussolini show? Oh, that's the other one that I want to watch. I want to watch the Mussolini show as well. I hear very good things about the Mussolini show. Very interesting about the Mussolini's a transition and Italy's a transition. Oh my God. That's another one that I'm interested in watching as well. We got Severance on the docket. There's so much good stuff out there, man. There's so much content out there to consume. But yeah, I ended the broadcast. I watched some Freyrin. I still can't get into Freyrin that much. I find it strange. I find something to be kind of strange about it. Maybe it's because I'm 33, but like the whole she's an elf that looks still kind of childish, but is simultaneously 700 years old. It just weirds me out. I can't. It's like a mental block that I can't clear. Like, obviously, if the protagonist is a male and they're a teenager, I don't care. You know what I mean? Because, I'm a dude. Weird take. No, I don't think that's a weird take. She doesn't look like a child. What do you mean? Guys, she's not sexualized. Okay? She's not. But every now and then, there's, weird moments. I found the misogyny, but it's still a green flag that you think is weird. She looks young. Guys, can I just say something without people fucking shoving it down my throat? I'm not saying it's lolly or whatever. I'm just saying from my experience, when I watch shows like that, I just can't, I can't get into it. If she was more adult coded as someone who is supposed to be 700 fucking years old, I feel like it would not be as much of a weird thing for me. I'm just saying it's weird for me. I want to really get into it. I want to get into the show. And as someone who obviously freaking loves anime and watches a lot of anime, this is one of those things that, I've just not been able to get over. I'm still watching it because people have said so many nice things about it that it makes me want to see what the fuck is up. I don't know if I like the hardcore evil, the demons are evil. There's no redeeming qualities to them. They're pure evil. I don't know if I like it yet. I don't know if it's gonna get more complex down the line. So yeah, everybody really likes Freyrin. For that reason, I'm giving it a shot. I totally was no dungeon meshy for me, right? No dungeon meshy for me for the longest time. But then I learned my lesson that actually dungeon meshy is great. It's more Berserk than it is Zelda. And so we'll see. Slow start, goated ending, trust. I trust. I'm still going through it. I'm still burning through it. I think Israel with their HASBARA operations is desperately looking for fresh-faced Christian pro-Israel talking spokespersons. They think that this will make an impact in the marketplace amongst people who are not Jewish. Yeah, here it is. I may not be Jewish, but I know emotional manipulation when I see it. Gen Z has been tricked into thinking that seeing graphic images of war automatically makes a war unjust. That's not true. It's never been true. Felix says, first sentence of his post made me double over. And it turns out she's literally hired as an evangelical Zionist to do propaganda for Israel. Like, she works for a pro-Israel, like Israel propaganda operation, from what I understand. No matter how much money you dump into this process, like, you are not going to be able to overcome the endless amount of child murder that has been live streamed every single day. You can't do a baby Holocaust and then fucking act like people don't see it, or try to punish people for seeing it.
Just because you see images of dead children, as disgusting and frustrating and upsetting as it is, does not automatically make a war unjust.
I'm gonna say it. Just because you are getting the bag in and you are receiving crumbs of attention on the internet for spreading your abhorrent propaganda does not make it acceptable. Because in this video, this person basically admits that they work for the Israeli government.
And for the last 4 years, I've worked in some capacity for my full-time job in the Israel education ad.
Bro, this is HASBARA. She literally does HASBARA for Israel. She's an evangelical Zionist who is paid by the Israeli state to do Israel propaganda. The entire purpose of what she's doing is to try to get other evangelical Zionists, to get other evangelical Christians to be pro-Israel. Okay, at a time when there is like unprecedented negativity surrounding Israel for its live streamed child holocaust that it is doing to the Palestinian population. These people are fucking insane, okay? They are dumb, they are insane, they are unsuccessful. It's not going to work. This propaganda operation is bunk, because the more effective propaganda operation here, far before all of this kind of HASBARA, all of this kind of advocacy, was to simply hit the anti-Semitism line. Oh, you don't fuck with Israel? Boom, you're anti-Semitic. Sorry. Now every fucking media outlet is going to actually run hit pieces on you, calling you a fucking anti-Semite. Now it doesn't work that way. It's gone. That tool is out, okay? This is a very sophisticated, very pervasive influence peddling operation that no longer fucking works because of the overwhelming amount of death and destruction that Israel has caused, that everyone can fucking see. There's a part 2 as well. Let's take a look.
Every single one of these creators has this grand conspiracy theory that I'm either secretly undercover a Jew or I work for the Israeli government.
No one thinks you're secretly undercover a Jew. Everyone knows that you are an evangelical Zionist. You're an evangelical Christian who is working for a most likely Knesset grant recipient organization that is probably privately owned by some fucking freakazoid Christians that are directly doing advocacy, also known as HASBARA, for the state of Israel. You are a HASBARA agent. That is your job. That is literally on your fucking LinkedIn. And the only reason why it's on your LinkedIn, the only reason why it's openly a part of your CV, but you're still trying to advocate against it, is because in the past, when someone said, oh, I work for an advocacy organization for Israel, people wouldn't look at that and go, that's weird. Why are you doing that? People would never say that. That's why people could openly say, I do advocacy work for Israel in the past. But now when you say that, they go, ugh, that's gross. That's the only reason why you have to deny these claims. For the longest fucking time, when you worked for a company like this, passagesisrael.org, it didn't matter. You could just openly say, like, oh no, I'm doing advocacy. My advocacy initiatives are about telling American Christian evangelicals to go to Israel and to fund the settlement operations in the West Bank, which are illegal, by the way. You were allowed to do this. This actually helped your career, as a matter of fact. It still kind of helps your career because there's still a lot of moneyed interest involved in this process, but it no longer helps your outlook amongst the regular population, civilians, normies, when they hear you doing advocacy, paid advocacy for the apartheid state that is doing a genocide, Israel, everyone goes, ew, gross, don't do that. You're a freak. which is understandable. I think it's very understandable.
You know, when you post things on the internet, you should be very careful about what other information can easily be found out about you with just a simple search. Because, you know, you misleadingly edited my original video. Because what I actually said is you either worked for the Israeli government or you worked for an NGO that was adjacent to the Israeli government. And who do you work for? Who do you work for? Passages Israel, a Christian evangelical NGO which spends money bringing young Christians over to Israel to turn them into nasty little propagandists like you, who spend their time explaining why children dying is moral and just. You claim that you don't think it is, but yet you go on about how the war is just in this video.
I'm sorry, I take it back. No, I will actually say it again. Just because you see graphic images of children does not make a war unjust. Notice how I didn't say that the killing of children is something to be glorified or praiseworthy. Notice how I never said that it's not a tragedy. Notice how I never said that you shouldn't weep for the loss of innocent children's lives. Somewhere along the way, a lot of people started confusing emotional pain with moral judgment. They started believing that if a war produces suffering, if there are horrifying images, if there are children caught in the crossfire, or if it seems like one side is suffering more than the other, then that means the war itself must be unjust. And that is not true. That's never been true.
Is she brain dead? Yes. She's evil. She's evil and brain dead. She's just a bad person. She is literally a demonic agent, okay? It is fucking crazy. And the things that are coming out of her mouth are so psychotic and so demonic that the average person, when they hear stuff like this, probably experiences whiplash. Okay, when someone starts off the conversation by saying, listen, people need to stop obsessing over dead children, you're like, okay, what are you, Satan? What the fuck do you mean? I've never encountered a person in my fucking life that has ever actually made a take like that, and then that didn't like dramatically cause a rift in our relationship permanently. If I hear that in the real world, if someone were to say those words in the real world, that like dead children is emotional manipulation, let's be logical about this, I would go, oh my God, you are a villain, okay? You are such a fucking villain. You are the biggest villain I have ever encountered in my life. It's so villainous that most people, most villains in works of fiction don't even say these things.
You think starving 2 million people is just. You think expelling 2 million people is just. You think wiping away the social life of 2 million people is just. No, that's genocide, and you should know that. But because just today, many experts in the field of genocide studies came out and said, yeah, what Israel is doing is genocide. There is no other way to look at it. There are only people like you who wish to use their education to spread lies on the internet so more killing can happen.
Most of the people talking about this kind of stuff online don't actually have a personal connection to the war. They don't have a friend that they know personally or a family member who is living in the region. They have never had to check a casualty list for a name that they might recognize. And the most productive conversations that I have had about the current war have been with people who actually...
This is also the other side of the story that's really funny, because she goes, oh, dude, you guys need to shut the fuck up about the emotional appeal of dead Palestinian children that your tax dollars are contributing to. And what you should instead feel is the emotional appeal to Israeli society that gets to have bunkers that they can run into and gets to live a normal fucking life every day on the backdrop of a genocide that American weapons are contributing to. You should feel emotional about Israelis. Why are you feeling emotional about Palestinians? It's like, think about the poor Israelis. That's what this argument revolves around. It's not about emotional appeal. She's not like trying to do this hardcore logical perspective. She's just saying, I don't like that you are feeling emotional and recognizing the humanity of Palestinian children that are being fucking killed with bunker buster bombs. You should feel way worse about Israelis that have, you know, marketing jobs and eat the nastiest hummus you've ever heard and listen to the worst fucking psytrance music you've ever fucking heard, while there is literally an open-air prison that has turned into an open-air concentration camp with American weapons 40 fucking miles away. That's literally it. They're like, no, feel bad for the Israelis. Why the fuck won't you feel bad for the Israelis? Why would anybody feel bad for the Germans living in fucking Nazi Germany? Sorry, it doesn't work that way. You can't educate people on the Holocaust and then expect people to turn around and go, yeah, I realize that this kind of mechanized murder is actually really evil, But now that Israel is doing it, now I think it's actually good. Like, it doesn't work that way. People know right from wrong. Yeah, poor SS officers suffering from PTSD. Poor Waffen SS, dude. It's just like they felt so bad as they were fucking slaughtering villages, entire villages, and wiping them out in Eastern Europe. Like, why won't anybody think about their perspective? Why would anybody think about their feelings? It's not gonna fucking work. It's so overwhelming. The death and destruction is so overwhelming that Americans that are normally preconditioned due to the war on terror narratives to literally always assume that if there is a brown Arab that is being slaughtered, they probably deserve it. That American society has completely flipped on the issue of Israel. After decades and decades of concerted propaganda efforts and a complex influence peddling operation, those Americans have finally said, oh my God, this is so unacceptable. After 19 months of endless live streamed child holocaust, Americans are like, I don't fuck with this. Fuck Israel. Do you think there's a chance of changing someone's minds like that, ladies? No, that's an enemy. That is not someone whose mind is supposed to be changed. This person is an enemy, an ideological enemy, an enemy of the truth. Her entire job is to do propaganda for money. That's entirely different. You have to pick your targets appropriately. You can actually walk people down this ledge that they're on with ease, okay, by showing them the truth. But someone like this person, who gives a fuck about what their perspective is? They're getting a check. You can't convince someone to maintain a separate position when their livelihood relies on them maintaining the position that they have. You can't convince them of that. You can just pay them more, maybe. Get Qatar on the line, get Qatar to fucking give her money, and maybe she'll fucking swap teams. But we're not talking about convincing someone like this. We're talking about convincing people that might have encountered her idiotic commentary and might have been duped by her idiotic commentary.